Welcome back, movie buffs and cinephiles, to our latest episode of Real Talk. I am your host, as always, Josh Belt, and today we're going to delve deep into the cinematic archives of the 1980s, a decade that birthed some of the most iconic films in history. But as we revisit these classics, we're also peeling back the layers of time to examine them through a contemporary lens. In this installment of our series of movies from the 80s that were loved but probably couldn't be done today, we are shining a spotlight on Short Circuit, a film that once charmed audiences with its whimsical tale of a sentient robot's journey to self-discovery. But does this beloved gem still hold up to scrutiny in our modern era? Join us as we unravel the threads of nostalgia and critique, exploring the highs and lows of Short Circuit with a discerning eye. From its heartwarming plot to its quirky characters, we'll dissect every aspect of this 80s classic, uncovering both its enduring appeal and its potential pitfalls in today's cultural landscape. So grab your favorite movie snacks, settle into your comfiest chair, and prepare for a cinematic adventure. It's time to ignite the reels and journey back to a bygone era of filmmaking magic. So let's kick it off with our summary of the plot of Short Circuit. Our story unfolds in a high-security robotics laboratory where the military has developed a series of advanced military robots, including this experimental prototype number 5, or as he eventually gets known as Johnny 5. But when a bolt of lightning strikes our metallic protagonist during a routine test, it miraculously imbues him with consciousness and a childlike curiosity about the world around him. As Johnny 5 ventures into the world outside the confines of the lab, he encounters Stephanie Speck, a kind-hearted animal lover and ally who inadvertently becomes entangled in his misadventures. With a childlike innocence and an insatiable thirst for knowledge, Johnny 5 explores his newfound sentience, grappling with questions of identity and purpose as he navigates the complexities of human emotion. However, Johnny's newfound freedom is threatened when the military perceives him as a malfunctioning weapon and dispatches a team to deactivate him. Faced with the looming threat of destruction, Johnny must rely on his newfound friends and his own ingenuity to prove his humanity and evade capture. Amidst the chaos, Johnny forms an unlikely bond with Newton Crosby, the brilliant but socially awkward scientist who created him. Together, they embark on a quest to protect Johnny's newfound autonomy and challenge the notion of what it means to be alive. As the story reaches its climax, Johnny confronts his creators and the forces that seek to control him, ultimately triumphing over adversity and asserting his right to exist as a sentient being. In the end, Short Circuit is a tale of friendship, acceptance, and the indomitable spirit of the human and robotic soul. When we come back, we'll start with a quick look at the soundtrack. The soundtrack of Short Circuit is not quite as iconic as some of the other films of the era, specifically the ones we've recently reviewed, 16 Candles and Revenge of the Nerds, but it certainly adds depth and charm to the overall experience. It was composed by David Shire. The music in the film captures the whimsical and adventurous spirit of Johnny 5. One standout aspect of the soundtrack is its ability to enhance those emotional beats in the story. During some of the more poignant moments, such as Johnny 5's journey of self-discovery or his interactions with Stephanie and Newton, the music subtly underscores those relationships, adding some layers of emotion and resonance to the scene. Also, the soundtrack has a playful, upbeat melody to perfectly complement its lighter-hearted moments, injecting some sense of fun and wonder into Johnny's escapades. Whether he's gleefully exploring his newfound consciousness or he's embarking on some mischievous adventure, the music is a good accompaniment to all of his antics. Also, the soundtrack does feature a blend of some synth-driven compositions and some more whimsical style orchestrations, reflecting the film's 1980s aesthetics, where synth pop and orchestration was large in the popular music. But it also captures a timeless appeal. The use of the electronic elements adds a futuristic flair to the music, being that the film's themes of technology innovation. One particularly memorable aspect of the soundtrack is its ability to evoke that sense of nostalgia, especially viewed today. It takes us back to the 80s. Those of us that were there, we kind of get it now. We are transported back through those sounds and those notes. And it brings us to a time of innocence and wonder at the world around us. So, like I say, may not be the most celebrated aspect of the film, but it does play a really crucial role in shaping its tone and its atmosphere, the emotional resonance to the playful melodies. It does leave a lasting impression. Now, when we get back, we will dive into some of the thematic elements featured in the film. Now, on the surface, Short Circuit seems like a straightforward 80s sci fi comedy, but beneath that whimsical, fun exterior, there are some thought provoking thematic elements that continue to resonate today, some more so than others. At its core, Short Circuit explores the theme of artificial intelligence and its interaction with humanity, huge questions that we still have today. The film raises questions about what does it mean to be human and the ethical implications of creating sentient beings. As Johnny Five gains consciousness and starts to exhibit emotions and desires, he challenges the traditional notions of humanity, blurring those lines between man and machine. And then throughout the film, Johnny Five embarks on a journey of self discovery, grappling with existential questions about his purpose and his identity. His quest to understand himself and his place in the world mirrors a human experience of searching for meaning and fulfillment. Through Johnny Five's evolution, the film explores themes of self awareness, autonomy, and the pursuit of our individuality. Another significant theme in Short Circuit is prejudice and acceptance. Initially viewed as a mere machine by the humans around him, Johnny Five faces discrimination and mistrust based on his artificial nature. However, as he demonstrates his intelligence, empathy, and a capacity for growth, some of the humans begin to see him in a new light, challenging their preconceived notions and biases. The film then highlights the importance of empathy, understanding, and acceptance in overcoming prejudice and fostering some meaningful connections. Short Circuit also explores the theme of technology and its impact on society. As advancements in robotics and AI continue to accelerate in the real world, the film serves as a cautionary tale about the responsibilities that come with innovation. Johnny Five's journey raises questions about the ethical use of technology, the potential questions and consequences of unchecked scientific progress, and the need for accountability in the face of technological advancement. And then at the heart of Short Circuit is a story about friendship and belonging. Through his interactions with Stephanie, Newton, and the other characters, Johnny Five discovers the importance of companionship and connection. His genuine curiosity, enthusiasm, and childlike wonder endear him to those around him. Forging bonds that transcend his artificial origins, the film celebrates the power of friendship to bridge differences and unite individuals from diverse backgrounds. So as we see that Short Circuit is much more than just a lighthearted comedy, it's an exploration of some complex themes that still resonate with audiences of all ages and today. Specifically, the examination of artificial intelligence and humanity. Those are poignant reflections that are vital today as AI is becoming more and more prevalent. There's also poignant reflections on identity, prejudice, technology, and friendship. The film offers valuable insights into the human experience and the ever-evolving relationship between man and machine. With all that being said, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the cast and crew. Short Circuit features a talented cast and crew whose contributions help bring this film to life. Starting with the cast, there's Ali Sheedy, who portrays Stephanie Speck, the kind-hearted animal lover who forms the initial bond with Johnny Five. Her performance brings warmth and sincerity to the character, and it makes her the heart of the film. Then there's Steve Guttenberg as Newton Crosby, the brilliant but naive robotics engineer who creates Johnny Five. His earnest portrayal adds depth to the character, capturing the moral dilemmas and growth Newton experiences throughout the film. Fisher Stevens as Ben Jabatuya. His He's the quirky, resourceful assistant that's more for comedic timing and chemistry with Gutenberg. And he does have some fun comedic moments and overall charm, but we'll talk more about him a little bit later. Austin Pendleton portrays Howard Marner, the opportunistic CEO of Novo Robotics. His portrayal of the ambitious and sometimes morally dubious executive adds tension and conflict to the story. Then one of my favorites, G.W. Bailey, playing Captain Schroeder, the determined military officer tasked with capturing Johnny Five. His portrayal of the no-nonsense military leader adds some suspense and urgency to the film's narrative. And we can't forget the voice acting of Tim Blaney, who provides the voice of Johnny Five, infusing the character with personality and humor and emotion. His performance really brings that character to life and makes the character more iconic and recognizable by the lines that he says, like Johnny Five is alive, many things like that. It was a very good choice with Tim Blaney there. And then when we get behind the camera, we have John Badham. Badham's direction is high energy, humorous, and he balances the heartfelt moments really well. He has this great way of elevating the film beyond its premise and creating an actually memorable cinematic experience for the audience. The film was written by S.2 Wilson and Brent Maddock. Their screenplay blends that humor and action and those heartwarming moments really well. Their creative storytelling and memorable dialogue contribute to the film's appeal. As we mentioned, David Shire, the composer, adding the sound to the film, the behind-the-scenes music that's always underscoring every scene. And then the talented special effects team, because they brought Johnny Five to life on screen. They used practical effects and puppetry techniques to make the robot kind of spew out personality and charm. They made him a beloved character. Overall, though, the cast and crew, they collaborated to make what is ostensibly a classic of 80s family cinema. And it continues to captivate audiences. I know my children loved it with its heartwarming story and endearing characters. Their collective talents and dedication to the project have helped hold it up as a film that has a legacy for generations to come. And with that, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll switch to why this film probably wouldn't be made the same today. So when exploring why Short Circuit couldn't be made today, it unveils some various factors, ranging from societal shifts to advancement in technology and some storytelling sensibilities. First, in the 1980s, the portrayal of artificial intelligence in films like Short Circuit was largely optimistic and lighthearted. Today, with the rapid advancement in AI technology and growing concerns about its ethical implications, filmmakers might approach the subject with more caution and nuance. Issues such as AI ethics, privacy concerns, and the potential for job displacement are now central themes in discussions about AI, which would likely influence the narrative and tone of a modern adaptation. And then Short Circuit, it's like I said, we will talk about later. Here it is. Fisher Stevens, a non-Indian actor in the role of Ben Jabatuya, an Indian character. Stevens' portrayal, which relied on racial stereotypes and accent, would likely be met with heavy criticism and even backlash in today's more culturally sensitive climate. With increased awareness of cultural appropriation and the push for authentic representation in media, filmmakers would face pressure to cast actors of appropriate cultural backgrounds and avoid caricature depictions of ethnicities. And then there's the film's subplot of the ethical implications of military technology. The military's pursuit of Johnny Five raises many ethical questions about the use of technology for military purpose. In today's context, where debates over autonomous weapons and drone warfare are prevalent, a film like Short Circuit might spark discussion about the ethical implications of weaponized AI and the role of corporations in developing military technology. And then there's Short Circuit. In Short Circuit, it includes some animals actors such as Newton Crosby's pet, the pet spider, and a goat. Modern filmmaking practices prioritize animal welfare and ethical treatment on set. Given the scrutiny placed on the treatment of animal actors and the rise of CGI technology, filmmakers might opt for more humane alternatives portraying animal characters in a contemporary remake. And then there's always the audience expectations. Audiences' tastes and preferences have evolved since the 80s, with viewers seeking more diverse and complex narratives that challenge conventional storytelling tropes. Now, Short Circuit was well received during its time. Today's audiences might expect some more depth, diversity, and maybe a little more thematic complexity in their experiences. A modern adaptation of the film would likely need to address contemporary themes and social issues to resonate with today's audiences. So while this is a beloved film from the 80s, there are certain aspects of story and characters that pose some challenges for a contemporary remake. As societal norms and technological advancements continue to evolve, filmmakers would need to navigate these sensitively and responsibly to adapt a film like Short Circuit for modern audiences while staying true to its nostalgic charm. Now we'll take another quick break, and when we get back, we'll dive into some fun little trivia bits. Now, there is a lot of trivia out there, and here's some of the fun bits and behind-the-scenes anecdotes that I found interesting. First, the character of Johnny Five was inspired by real-life robotics research, particularly the work of Hans Moravec and his team at Carnegie Mellon University. Moravec's research on mobile robots and artificial intelligence influenced the development of Johnny Five's design and capabilities, which lends an air of authenticity to the film's portrayal of robotics at the time. And the design of Johnny Five went through several iterations before the filmmakers settled on the final look. The iconic robot was actually brought to life by designer Sid Mead, who had been known for his work on other sci-fi classics like Blade Runner. Mead's futuristic yet endearing design captured the imagination of audiences, and it definitely remains one of the most memorable aspects of the film now. And then there are the cultural references. Short Circuit is peppered with references and nods to other films and media of its time. For example, the scene where Johnny Five mimics the gestures of John Wayne in a Western film highlights the robot's childlike curiosity and penchant for imitating human behavior, adding some depth and humor to the character. And then the film utilizing the mix of practical effects and puppetry to bring Johnny Five to life. The robot's movements and expressions were a combination of animatronics, puppeteering, and remote control technology, showcasing some great ingenuity on the part of the special effects team. Then, like we mentioned, the casting of Fisher Stevens, a non-Indian actor, as Ben, an Indian character, has been criticized for perpetuating racial stereotypes. I believe Fisher Stevens has even come out and stated that he is kind of ashamed of the part as well. So it is a call to Hollywood to be better at cultural representation. If you want an Indian character, hire an Indian actor, those sorts of things. Now, the film in its day received mixed reviews from critics, but it proved to be a commercial success. At the time, grossed over $40 million at the box office, and was so popular it spawned a sequel, Short Circuit 2, further cementing Johnny Five's status as a pop culture icon. And the film left a lasting impact on audiences and inspired generations of filmmakers and robotics enthusiasts. The film's themes of friendship, identity, and acceptance continue to resonate today, earning its place in the pantheon of 80s classics. So hopefully this trivia offers a nice, fascinating little glimpse into the creative process and some of the impacts of the film from behind the scenes. Now we'll take another quick break, but when we get back, we'll summarize everything and give you our rating. So our exploration of Short Circuit has unveiled both its endearing qualities and some shortcomings. The film's narrative, centered around the sentient robot Johnny Five, is still a favorite with audiences for its charm and humor. Johnny Five's journey to self-discovery and friendship resonates with viewers of all ages, making it sort of a classic of 80s cinema. However, as we reflect on the film's portrayal of certain characters, particularly Fisher Stevens' portrayal of sidekick Ben, we recognize the problematic nature of racial stereotypes perpetuated in the film. Stevens' portrayal, characterized by an exaggerated accent and cultural appropriation, raises important questions about representation and authenticity in Hollywood. But despite its flaws, Short Circuit remains a nostalgic favorite for many, offering a whimsical escape into a world where robots possess humanity and friendship knows no bounds. The film's legacy continues to endure, inspiring future generations of filmmakers and sparking conversations about diversity and inclusion in media. In our assessment here, we award Short Circuit a critical rating of 6 out of 10. While we appreciate the film's entertainment value and cultural significance, we acknowledge the need for greater sensitivity and awareness in its portrayal of diverse characters. It's important to approach Short Circuit with a critical eye, recognizing its contributions to cinema while confronting its problematic elements. And we want to emphasize that while we enjoy aspects of Short Circuit, we do not condone the acts portrayed in the movie, specifically the cultural appropriation. It's essential to separate entertainment from reality and to challenge those harmful stereotypes and narratives wherever they may appear. So as we conclude our discussion on Short Circuit, we would love to invite you to share your thoughts and reflections with us. Your feedback helps shape the dialogue around these films and contributes to a deeper understanding of their impact on our culture. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the 80s, and we look forward to exploring more films with you in the future. But before we sign off, remind you to send your thoughts and feedback to us. If you have comments, questions, suggestions, please reach out to therealrealtalk@gmail.com. That's therealrealtalk@gmail.com. You can also connect with us on Instagram and Threads at RealRealTalk. And don't forget to join us next time as we wrap up our series on 80s cinema with a look at the Thomas Howell vehicle, Soul Man. We'll delve into the complexities of this film and explore its themes and cultural impact. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Real Real Talk. Until then, keep watching, keep loving, and keep those reels rolling. Thank you, guys.